All right, kids, we're back at it. And you know what? We're early enough that we're going to go down and run by the waterfront. At least that's the plan. Now that I've announced that, um, hey, she cooks. We're out early enough that we're going to go down and run along the waterfront. And I'm going to show you that part of Seattle. That'll be fun. Might be able to see the water way down there in front. That's where we're headed. So we'll run down to Alaska Way and head north along the waterfront. We'll go up to Pier 70 and then turn around and come back. That'll be fun. At least I think we're on Seneca. I think we can get all the way down. If not, we'll dig around a little bit to end up down there. Yep, we can get all the way down. Cool. Okay. I couldn't remember if Seneca went all the way down or if it stopped at First Ave. All right. There's Third Avenue, which is both ways. Fourth Avenue runs all the way north, and Second Avenue runs all the way south through downtown. Nah, I lied. Seneca stopped at First Avenue, so we'll have to go up a couple of blocks north and then cut down to the waterfront. But that's okay. Hey, Bern, welcome in. We got out early enough. We're going to run down and do a run up and down the waterfront in Seattle here on the Puget Sound, which will be fun. Hey, Demoose, I love the new title, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, Demoose has been a solid supporter of everybody's channels for a long time, and he's finally going to fire it up and start doing his own stuff, which is really cool. Okay. Actually, you know what? We could run all the way up First Avenue and I can take you right by Pike Place Market. And then we'll turn around and come back down the waterfront. That'll work. That's even cooler. Okay, we'll go up. That's what we're going to do. We'll go up First Avenue and go up through downtown. And then at the north end, up on Broad Street, we'll crash down onto the waterfront. Sad part is, one of my service techs may see me down here and go, "Hey, wait a minute, I got a question." Because I know I got two of them working at, well, right on the next block over from the Pike Place Market. And I'm going to move the phone so you can see it, but that's the Pike Place Market right there. And I would drive you Pike Place. Pike Place Fish Market is down here. uh, and they actually throw salmon. If you want to investigate that, go look up market. Orders are full. And they, it will fly from the back of the counter out to the fish under. But they have all sorts of stuff in there, along with obviously all the fresh produce and that sort of stuff. They've got fresh flowers. They've got artsy craftsy stuff, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a ton of little lists. And I could go down to the waterfront here, but I want to go up to Broad Street so we can start from all the way at the north end. This is considered the Bell District, Bell Town, as it were. Lots of little restaurants and stuff along the way. Uh, Most of the big buildings here are all condos and apartments. Hi, Daisy May. We're doing the waterfront trip I promised everybody a few weeks ago. We're heading northbound on First Avenue in downtown Seattle. We're going to get up to the north end of where we can access the waterfront, which is Broad Street, and then we're going to take a left and go down to the waterfront and come back south. This part of town, like I said, is mostly businesses on the bottom floor and apartments on the upper floors. Some of them are short buildings. That one's only 3 stories, so you got 2 floors of apartments. But there's also high rises here too that go up 30 or 40 stories. And all over the place, you can see the little green and white bicycles and scooters. And those are all I guess they're kind of rent-to-go bike scooters. And this idiot's going to walk right out in the street against the light. Now he's bound. This is the Broad Street, so I'm going to go over it. Oh, yes, it is Broad Street. Okay, we're going to turn left. All right, down we go. Eastern Avenue. And Sibby's talked many times about the old spaghetti factory. And I don't know what they've turned it to, but I know it's not the old spaghetti factory anymore. At least I don't think it is. Okay. Yeah, that old brick building used to be the old spaghetti factory. All right, there's Pier 70 right in front of us. And we are down on the waterfront. Some of this has definitely changed since the last time I was down here. There used to be a viaduct that went over the top of this, and there was huge controversy about the whole mess. But They drilled a hole underneath downtown Seattle with a big machine called BART, and tunneled from the south end of town to the north end of town. Also, I spoke this morning and have spoken several times on the Smith Tower. And you can see the peak of it sticking up way down there in the picture. On the right is the Port of Seattle, and that's where the cruise ships come in and out of. Butler Family Farms. Uh, they are coming out to Seattle to do an Alaska cruise along with uh, a bunch of other channels. Morning, Tiger. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. We're doing the Seattle waterfront. Yeah, Gary and Susan from Butler Family Farms are going to come out and take the Alaska cruise, and that truck is noisy as hell. Put the window up for a minute. Anyway, when they're out here, we're going to meet them and have dinner with them. Oh, yellow means stop in Germany? Yeah, no, red means stop. Yellow means hit the gas or slowly up down. There's Pier 66. I think I'm in the bike lane. I need to move over. Okay, there we go. They've reconfigured all of this since I was down here and put all these stupid bike lanes in. There's Anthony's at Pier 66. That's a big chain restaurant around here. Supposed to be a nice food fish place, but there's Seattle's Great Wheel, running joke, long time running joke. They put great wheels all over the place. $20 to go around in a circle up there. 250 feet in the air for half an hour. Except you only get 10 minutes. Ooh. What the heck? I haven't seen this little. This may take us up and we may not be able to get back down after this. But we'll take a right and see. That's the Seattle Aquarium, was just out to the right down there, but I don't know if I can get back down there or not. Yeah, aquarium, ferry terminals. Okay. Yes, we can and we will. Hi, Katie. That's a good question, Katie. We can do that here, although the police officers won't be happy with you. But oh, okay. Well, I can't type, so we're even. Yeah, this is completely messed up, this downtown area. And like I say, there used to be a viaduct that was in the air, and the last few earthquakes we had here uh, before they took it down made everybody wonder. We are, well, I mean, technically, I don't think this road existed, but they're saying Elliott way to the left and Alaskan way to the right. So apparently, we're going to move over 1 lane here. Just follow that. Anyway, there's the Seattle Aquarium on the right if you guys can see it. um, some kind of a goofy art installation. Uh, Miner's Landing, that's kind of a fun little curiosity area. The old curiosity shop is coming up on the right. If you've ever seen the picture of the half baby, half alligator, that comes from the old curiosity shop, and it was a taxidermy creation. Ferry terminal is coming up on the right. Um, you can drive around and get over to Bremerton and Winslow. Well, not Winslow. Uh, or you can take a ferry across the Puget Sound over there. That's kind of cool. Last time I was down here, we didn't have all these cart vendors. That kid was screaming. Hey, Des, you see Moose's name change? That's awesome, isn't it? Anyway, this is kind of the waterfront. There isn't really a spot anymore where you can pull over, and I could have popped out for a minute and showed you the water. Not that it's, I mean, it's water, it's salt water. It is part of the Pacific Ocean. No, I know you sent him to us. I was there. Okay, am I back? Am I back? Let me know if I'm back, guys. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I didn't get any notification that I was gone. Luckily, I figured out how to reset this thing thanks to Mary's gate. This is Highway 99. Before they built I-5, this was the only way down to the south end from Seattle. On the right side of us is we're coming up on the old Boeing plant, and on the left side is going to be Boeing Field here in a minute. Thank you, Tiger. Yeah, if something goes funny, let me know, and now I know how to fix it, and I can bring it back. I shouldn't have gone funny there, but apparently something happened. I mean, I didn't go under a tunnel or anything, or uh, didn't do anything I know that I screwed up with. But as soon as you guys said something, I went through the procedure to reset it. It's got a exhaust manifold gasket that's cracked, and I can't stand up long enough to change it out myself. Um, the guy who owns the little auto shop in town keeps telling me to bring it in to get it fixed. It's just a matter of time to do it. He's done the other work on my truck. I just haven't gotten around to taking it in to do it. his shop is the old gas station in downtown Wilkinson, and it's only a mile from half a mile, 3/4 of a mile from my house. But and he just gives me a ride back home when I drop the truck off. Uh, but I have to time it so that I'm not going to need the truck for the day. Not like I really go anywhere, but you know what I mean. I need to have him do the exhaust manifold leak, and then also my oil pressure sending unit. The plug screws up on it. Welcome back, Moose. I just got back too. um, so every now and then, anybody else driving this thing would have a heart attack because all of a sudden the oil pressure goes. It looks like it goes to zero, and wait a minute, I gotta get over and take the off ramp here, otherwise I'm gonna end up infuriated. Um, we're going over the Duwamish River. Um, and what the heck was I talking about? Oh well, I don't. Must not have been too important. Anyway, yeah, this goofy off ramp is all part of Old 99 too. Oh, maybe that's what I was talking about. Yeah, before I-5, this was the major thoroughfare to go all the way down to Portland, really. Hey, Larry, thanks for dropping by, buddy. We're kind of doing a different route, but you'll have to go back a bit to see the waterfront, which kind of messed me up too because I had been down there in so long. But it was fun driving through the bike path. All right, one more right turn and another stoplight, and then we'll be back on the freeway going southbound. Could say, what the hell is that? The new building? God, they're really. That's a new transfer station. Man, it used to be a open pit with trailers that they drove in next to it. Now they're making them into artwork. It's silly. Horn blows. All right, this is the rest of 99. This will take us all the way down to merge onto I-5 for a short bit and then take our normal 405 exit. So you got a little alternate roads this time. Hopefully it was interesting. Trying to figure out what that building is over there and why. I don't know if you guys have these things, but these things have started popping up all around Seattle, and usually they're in like retail parking lots and stuff way out. But it's a little trailer-like thing with a flashing blue light on top with a pole, and it's a police alert station. If you have a problem, you can run up to it, hit a button, and it'll alert the police. And I guess the logic is there, but it seems kind of silly. Are you back on the other? Tiger was over in Washington or Oregon for a while. Oh, you go. Oh, you're still here? Okay. This is kind of definitely the rattier end of town. Major substation. That's always exciting. Well, at least it'll get done with. That's cool. They're so slow. The course will take forever. All right. Around the S turn and a little bit further, and then we'll right up to I-5. We're also in Tukwila from another angle, which we talk about every week. Um, I'm curious to hear from Sibby today. He usually calls me about 12:30 our time, just to check in. And she was dropping the bombshell that she's leaving today. So I'll be curious to see how that goes over. And I got to get ahead of this guy and get over. But this place that I'm in is turning purple. And there we go, back on I-5. Those of you that have been with me before realize that this is where we usually get ready to merge over and head down Yeah, she's pretty excited about it. A little apprehensive, but pretty excited. At least now she's going to have a staff, so she isn't the one taking all the abuse. That 7 tons of freight last Thursday about killed her. Yeah, it was pretty cool. She called and said that she thought the interview went okay, but not great. Uh, and I told her not to worry about it. You know, it's probably fine. Told her relax and come on home. She hung up, and it wasn't 10 minutes later. She called me back and said they just called and offered it to me. So that's cool. No thanks, Tiger. We're talking mid 90s today, and that's too damn hot for me. We had 91, 92 yesterday, and I struggled with that. Luckily, we're about out of the. Come on, dude, you didn't need to get over. Fine, just get out of my way. Uh, we're coming up on the end of our overly part of the year. Usually, it's about the second week of July to the second or third week of August. All right, lady, you're just gonna run beside me, then I'm gonna get ahead of that. All right, now we're on our way to exit. We'll get on 167, and we can stop thinking about it for a minute. Yeah, yeah, that's the way I am, most. I can't handle the heat, dude. We've got a heat pump, so we have air conditioning. That's a byproduct of having a heat pump. But the problem is the puppies, they breed like they're waters, and they don't like to be in the house where they can't see out. Uh, and because we're on Gale Creek, we don't have a fenced backyard. So if they want out, I got to go out. Yeah, Florida's into hurricane season, aren't they? All right, I got to get over 2 lanes here. There we go. There's one, and all the way over. And away we go. Cat 3 already by Saturday. Yeah, wonderful. Hey, Share Bear, thanks for coming in, honey. All right. Yeah, I could live with that, Vern. That wouldn't be a problem for me at all. I'd be quite pleased with that kind of weather. Okay, this is the drive we're used to with the lovely greenery on the sides of the freeway. The Clover Park is the industrial area, and that's a pretty rough end of town. That's the only thing I'm not fond of is Normandy Park, where Sibby's going to be working is just south of Furion, and Furion is also a rough end of town. Not that she can't very much take care of herself, but she's not working. She won't be working late at night. So, although the poor thing will have to struggle to get used to only having 2 days off a week. She's used to working 4 10s and having Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So now she's going to be working 5 8s and only have Saturday and Sunday off. Yeah, that's what happens as soon as we get the freezer built up, power goes out. I have to admit, that's the nice part about up here. We don't get hurricanes. We get some pretty wicked winds sometimes, but once in a blue moon we get a tornado. But and then every now and then we get a mountain that goes boom. At the moment, we're getting tons and tons and tons of little earthquakes. Most of them have been too small for us to feel, but yeah, it definitely has been tighter. It's they have serious concerns with this one about mountain. So if it goes, we're either going to be gone or we're going to have the best content ever. One of the two. Have to wait and see. Pumpkin patches are growing nicely. Cornfields are all maybe waist high. You can see the corn was up pretty high out at Maris Farm. Maris Farm does a heck of a job with their Halloween thing. They've got an awesome corn maze and pumpkin patch. They also do haunted hay rides or zombie hunts. Everybody on the hayride gets a paintball gun, and as you're riding through the forest, zombies come out to attack the wagon, and you get to hunt the zombies. Yeah, Tigers and Walla Walla, the town they like so much. How the hell does that go? The town's so nice they named it twice. That's what it is. Walla Walla. Yeah, I was on the radio down there. I don't even know if any of the radio stations I was on are even still going. I know KUJ went dark years ago, but I also worked for KHIT and KSDX. Yeah, KSDX. That was back in the early 80s. Katie, honey, they're there just to irritate you. Whoa! Rock hit the windshield. Thanks, dude. Get some better mud flaps. Boy, that gets your attention quick. Well, we're slowly gaming on all these people. I guess I better slow the cruise down a little bit. In Moscow, Jesus. Excuse me. Now we're just spinning discs and making radio commercials. But it was fun while I did it. Just couldn't afford to survive on it. Doing six-hour border shifts a week for $600 a month. Well, he's waiting for a ticket. going too fast with a blacked out license plate. Whoa, that was exciting. I don't know what that was. Kind of like a dead something in a sleeping bag. Oh, that's cool. Jesus, Tiger, I can barely speak English. So I'm Hey, Eddie, thanks for coming in, buddy. You have to go back a ways if you want to see the waterfront. You can laugh at me while I drove down the bicycle and they completely reconfigured it from the last time I was up there. Yeah, I figured you were working. I was kind of surprised to see you. Hopefully you're having a good day, or at least an okay day. I know there's no such thing as a good day at work, but pay the bills. Reach out and slap someone. Ah, yes. Customer service is great fun. Nothing a good 2x4 to the head wouldn't help. Yeah, the smoke is just ridiculous. When I get home, I'll call my cousin and see what Gibby said this morning. There's wildfires over by Cleellum, and that's where my cousin is. And although I was texting with her yesterday, she didn't mention it. So, yeah, that logo came out great. That's awesome. I just got to get some content up there. We're going to hit mid 90s today, Eddie. We were 92 yesterday, and that was too effing hot for me. It's supposed to be a little warmer today. Yeah, working in the trade, it surprised me until uh, until 2010. Only 5% of the houses in Washington State had AC. Not even all the commercial establishments did, and it's gone up from there. But even now, we're only at about 14%. Although with the onset of the roll around, although it's not central AC, more and more houses have some form of air conditioning going. All right, I got to take this next exit. Yeah, that's the way I am, Eddie. I can't do it. I mean, I've never been able to deal with the heat. Once you get to naked, that's as good as it gets. I don't know. Maybe you. I don't know the power bills in Germany. I just know mine's absurd. I get billed bi-monthly, and my power bills run anywhere from 450 to 1200, and it's only a 2,000 square foot house. All right, now we're on 410 and headed towards Bonney Lake. Yeah, that's one of the best parts about AC is the humidification. That's why it surprises me as hot as it gets in Arizona, and I know the humidity's low and it's a dry heat, but there's so many houses down there that run swamp coolers rather than AC. It depends on where you are, Katie. We're technically in farm territory, and so we get a bunch of the excess farm taxes built on top of our stuff. But if you're not to mention our house was built in 1900, so it's not well insulated at all. Um, I mean, the first year we bought the house, we had three Titan wall heaters, which is a little what you see in apartments, and an 8-foot baseboard. And the first winter, it cost me $3,900 to heat the house. Oh, plus propane because we also have a propane stove in the corner, and that had I think it had a 110-gallon tank on it, and I went through 9 tanks of propane. The end of that year, I put a heat pump in, and that cut us way down. We didn't even have ductwork in the house, so I managed to score a heat pump for nothing, a 3-year-old heat pump for nothing. Dragged that home, and my son, who was also in the trade, scrounged up some ductwork, and he and a buddy of his and I put the whole system in a weekend. And it's now old enough for the time to replace it. If I put in a new system, I could cut that power bill by 40 to 80%, depending on what I put in. So that's coming in the near future. Excuse me. Not to mention when I bought the house, being that we're on Gale Creek, I anticipated putting in hydroelectric. So I ran around and got all the permits in place. Got permits from the county, got permits from the city, um, and actually in Germany, there's a company that makes a little device that looks like a small outdoor unit, or pardon me, a small blower unit, like a 10 horsepower outboard motor, and you hold it in place in the stream of the water, and it spins that. And depending on the flow, it could make up to 8,000 watts, uh, and it would be round the clock because the water frees every stop. And so I had the design and had it all set up to go. And before I could do it, I had to get the permission of the Puyallup Indians because apparently the Puyallup Indians own the water, and they refused to give me rights to the water. I even volunteered. We have salmon in the stream every other year from August 15th until September 15th. I even volunteered to pull it out of the creek for that month, and they still refused to give me permission to do it. That would have supplied us with all the power we needed. Plus, I would have been able to put power back into the grid, which would have caused Puget Sound Energy to pay me. All right, guys, we're coming up on the best view of Mount Rainier that there is up here, at least for right now. And you can see it's hazy as hell if you've seen it before from here. Well, that works. We got the stoplight, so you can actually look at it for a minute. I can explain things. If you look out to the left side, you can see a lot of the snow has melted down off the hill on that side. That's only started happening in the last 12 years. That mountain was never without snow all my life growing up. And then, yes, that is an active volcano, and it is making noise right now. If you want to know about it, um, on my post page, I posted a video that the USGS put out talking about the possibility of Mount Rainier going boom. It is possible. There's a 50, probably a 70-30 chance that if it goes, we won't be here anymore. Um, if it goes and we are still here, I'm going to have some phenomenal content. Last time it erupted was in the late 1700s, I believe, maybe early 1800s. Um, but as most people know, Mount St. Helens, which is the next major mountain going south from here, erupted in 1980. Um, but with all the rumblings that are going around right now, all the way around the Ring of Fire, uh, and Mount Rainier is producing several earthquakes every day, most of them small, but several earthquakes. Um, they are worried about it. All right, I got to stop at the pharmacy again, guys, so I'll probably end it just before we get there. Um, but it's been fun, and thank you for being here. Yeah, that's an interesting video, Eddie. If you want to watch it, it's maybe 20 minutes long, and it really kind of lays out the possibility. I think it's more, I don't think we're as bad off as they make it seem, but they are concerned about it. and it's an interesting watch. All right, around the corner and over the lane, climb the tree and jump in the lake. Yeah, it's just dumb. You know, county says I can do it, and there are people uphill from me that have that are using the water for hydroelectric, and I don't believe any of them have gotten permission from the Indians. But because of the way I was doing it, and the fact that I took my time and got the permits and did it right, I got screwed. Because I know for a fact that there are for sure two houses up the hill from me that are doing it. One of them was Steph's old boss, and then the house two houses up from him, which Gene Simmons from Kiss now owns, is 100% hydroelectric. But they're not using anything in the lake, pardon me, in the creek. They're actually taking the water up out of the creek through a hydroelectric uh, uh, water wheel setup and then back into the creek. And I wasn't even looking at disrupting the water that much. Just silly. Really, dude? Oh, don't sweat, Lee. Yeah, turban. Thank you, Tiger. I couldn't come up with that word. I don't own enough distance wise to be able to do that. My bank is 10 feet up from the water. All right, folks, we are at the pharmacy, so I'm going to call it a ride. And I love y'all. Thanks for being here. And we'll do it all again next week. Have a great day, and I'll see you somewhere out there on YouTube.